We saw good move coming in on Bajaj Finance just ahead of its operational updates kicking in for Q2. Apart from that, talking about today, HDFC Bank is trying to lend support for gaining around 1% in trade. So let's try and find out that how the operational numbers have been for both of these companies, and because they are sector leaders, what are the cues that other companies from the NBFC and banking space can get. And for this, we are being joined by two of our researchers in the studio, Vamakshi for Bajaj Finance, and we have Hersh to decode what's happening with HDFC Bank. But Vamakshi, take it away. Tell us how the operational updates for Bajaj Finance were.
Well, overall, it does look like a very strong update that has come in from Bajaj Finance for the second quarter. When we look at the AUM growth, that stood at around 33% on a year-on-year basis, and the AUM has now risen to 2.9 lakh odd crores. Now, definitely, this AUM growth that the company has reported has come in much higher than the company's stated guidance of anywhere between 29 to 31%. And in fact, Morgan Stanley also believes that for FY24, the AUM growth could be anywhere between 33 to 35%. When we look at the customer addition, the company's customer franchise has risen to around 76.56 million, an uptick of almost 22% is what they have reported. And both the customer addition on a year-on-year as well as sequential basis has been quite robust. But when we look at new loans that have, they stand at around 8.53 million for the quarter. They've risen by 26% on a year-on-year basis, but we're witnessing a fall of almost 14% on a sequential basis as far as the new loans are concerned. Deposits growth has also been strong, standing at around 40% for the on a year-on-year basis, and the liquidity also remains quite strong for this counter. For Jefferies as well as Morgan Stanley, both of these brokerage houses appear to be quite positive as far as Bajaj Finance is concerned. In fact, for Jefferies, Bajaj Finance is one of the top picks in the NBFC space. And given the strong update that has come in from the counter, Jefferies has maintained a buy rating with a target price of 8,830 rupees per share, while Morgan Stanley has not only maintained its overweight stance but also gone ahead and hiked the target price on Bajaj Finance to 10,300 rupees per share. So all in all, a good update that has come in from Bajaj Finance, and brokerages are also appearing to be quite bullish on this counter, and that is the reason you should keep an eye out for this counter.
All right, so brokerage is also giving a thumbs up for Bajaj Finance. No doubt, dismiss the way the stock is performing today, but let's not forget that tomorrow you have the all-crucial board meet as well, where they are going to talk about fundraising, and we'll see where and how much will they raise. But let's talk about HDFC Bank then, and what a great spot. Actually, a sports person is HDFC Bank in today's trading session, Hersh. It is the one that's bucking all overall market trend. It is seen an uptick about 1.5%. I think 2% off the day's lowest point is what HDFC Bank is trading at currently. Why is that?
Well, yes, and contributing a significant chunk with regard to the winners in trade today, Cheryl, in terms of points, 3/4 of the total cumulative points in green are contributed by HDFC Bank, which is quite solid. But let's take a look at the numbers. Now, one key concern prior to these numbers was with regard to the high base and the growth that HDFC Bank would continue to clock, and whether it could continue to clock that kind of growth, and that's exactly what's played out this time around. 5.5% growth on the advances front on that very high base, bringing the gross advances to 23.3 lakh crore. So very solid growth on that count as well. 1 lakh crore plus is the cumulative amount of advances added in this quarter alone. Even in terms of deposits, you're seeing good traction. 5.3% uptick sequentially, 18% year-on-year is on your screen. 21.73 lakh crore, around a 1.2 lakh crore added in terms of deposits. That's the second highest deposit base added by HDFC Bank after Q4 of last year, when it added 1.5 lakh crore in a single quarter. Also, in terms of what within advances is growing, very interesting here. We're seeing that their commercial and rural banking book is growing at 30% year over year. 10% sequential growth. This comprises of around 24 to 25% of HDFC Bank's combined book, and that continues, that machine, that particular segment continues to chug away very, very easily. The other piece that really stood out for me was with regard to corporate and wholesale banking. Corporate and wholesale banking has been a laggard over the last year or so. This quarter, it grew 6% sequentially. So you're seeing a comeback in terms of the wholesale book. So that's one key positive as well. In terms of CASA, 8% growth on a year-on-year basis, 1% sequentially, nothing major on that count. In fact, the CASA ratio has fallen below the 40% mark, 37.6% mark is where the CASA ratio is at. But overall, it seems that growth is proven in some form or shape in this quarter, and therefore you're seeing that buzz on HDFC Bank.
Okay, with this, we'll let you go both on that. Thank you so much, Vamakshi and Hersh, for joining us and helping us try and find out that how these operational updates were for both of these companies.
Your view on Bajaj Finance and HDFC Bank? I know I cut you midway.
Yes, Bajaj Finance, as I was sharing, if you see the data-wise, the stock is already at 52-week high. All brokerages have given thumbs up, and I have already given justification for same. And in my view, they will continue to do well. And once their fundraising of almost $1 billion, I think this announcement will come tomorrow. We are going to see more upside here. So any correction should be used as a buy opportunity as far as Bajaj Finance is concerned. And for HDFC Bank, my view is, though numbers wise, you are not seeing any disappointment anywhere, but only the culprit is as FIs are in selling mode. So, and they are the majority shareholder in HDFC Bank, and we have seen almost now 9 weeks of selling in HDFC Bank. So, in my view, this will continue till the time FI selling, in fact, stops in this counter. So, I'll wait for HDFC Bank even at this price point. In my view, let FI selling get over, then surely we'll start looking at it.
Okay, so that's the fundamental take on both of these counters. Wait for any dip to enter Bajaj Finance, but for HDFC Bank, Ashish will wait for when the FI selling gets over, maybe a good time. But in the meanwhile, we are getting some brokerage notes on HDFC Bank as well, post the operational update, where CLSA has maintained a buy rating for a target of 2,025 rupees, while Jefferies also maintained its buy for a target of 2,030 rupees. So, Kunal, all these brokerages are targeting over 2,000 rupees for HDFC Bank at near to that 1,500 level. Isn't the level very attractive to like enter into positions, or you will also wait for some correction? As well as, what's your take on Bajaj Finance?
So I'll also agree that HDFC Bank, I think, is at a very lucrative kind of a level. The price is at 1,500, 1,530 odd mark, as also coinciding with a major support over the last couple of years for HDFC Bank. So I strongly believe that these are good levels for a long-term investor to start nibbling into the stock price. Quality name, we've seen that the stock has managed to stand the test of time over the last decade and more. So I would probably expect the same for HDFC Bank going forward. Even for Bajaj Finance, now the stock is, I think, was in touching distance of breaking past about the life high levels of 8,050 odd mark. It's corrected marginally, but I think this could still be a good opportunity to try and buy Bajaj Finance. It's been an outperforming stock in the last 2-3 months, specifically from the time the stock was at 7,000 or sub 7,000 levels, coincided with the bounce just above the 200 moving average. So the trend reversals have been quite strong, and the stock is looking quite attractive. So both of the charts, I would believe, could warrant a good buy from a long-term play.
All right, so that's a view coming in from both of our experts on Bajaj Finance as well as on HDFC Bank.